the news tonight. Senator Shehu Sani attributes disclosure of lawmakers' take-home to credibility of Parliament. In business, number of bank customers dropped by 2 million. And on the foreign scene, Syria President Bashar al-Assad visits army in eastern Ghouta. Hello there and a warm welcome to SuperScreen News at 8. I am Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. Senator representing Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, says what prompted his action to disclose the total pay received by lawmakers is the culture of secrecy. You will recall that Sani said that senators receive 750,000 naira monthly salary and 13.5 million naira monthly for running costs. Speaking in an interview with journalists, Sani said he saw the need to break the culture of secrecy surrounding the activities of the National Assembly because it had given the Parliament a bad name. The lawmaker said the National Assembly is made up of personalities as doctors, lawyers, engineers, amongst others, but because of his culture of secrecy and silence, people who found themselves in the National Assembly are criminalized and stigmatized. Sani said his actions are purely to rescue the honor and credibility of the Parliament by removing the veil of secrecy to bring it once and for all to an end. And our presidential aspirant of the National Conscience Party, NCP, in the 2015 election, Martin Olunovo, has described the 13.5 million naira a monthly running cost of the senators as outrageous and unlawful. Olunovo, who expressed this view in an interview with SuperScreen News, charged the Nigerians to demand accountability from the senators.
It's outrageous. In addition to being outrageous, it's immoral. In addition to being immoral, it is unlawful. And the emphasis has to be on it is unlawful. It is the lawlessness that pervades the country now that allows this kind of thing to continue. Because it's not new. We have always known. If you take the budget of the National Assembly, which is 125 billion, and divide it by 469, which is the number of legislators in both the Senate and the House of Reps, you will understand that it costs us over 266 million averagely to maintain each legislator every year. Now, if you compare that with the police budget, it costs us only 830,000 to maintain an average policeman a year. So you can see the disparity. You can see the disparity. Now, this is a country where minimum wage is only 18,000. That is the moral aspect. But the most potent aspect from where we can deal with this is the aspect of the law. The law is very clear. There's a schedule on what a senator or a House of Reps member should earn. Anything earned above that is stealing and needs to be refunded. This money must be refunded. And the Nigerian people have to demand a refund. And I'm using this opportunity to serve a notice to national legislators that we will demand a refund of anything and above what the law prescribes.
He also lent his voice on the federal government's handling of the herdsmen menace, calling for a more efficient and unbiased handling of the situation.
I cannot be pleased with a government that is defending herdsmen that are globally confirmed as one of the top 4 terrorist organizations in the whole world. I will not be pleased with a government that has refused, despite international acclaim, to declare these violent and murderous herdsmen as terrorists. I will not agree with a government that declared peaceful IPOB protesters as terrorists, but has refused to declare genocidal herdsmen as terrorists, notwithstanding that the whole world has declared them as terrorists.
Well, presidential aspirant of the National Conscience Party, Martin Novo, speaking there. And now moving on the news, more reactions have continued to trail the total salary package received by each senators as revealed by Senator Shehu Sani. A cross-section of Nigerians who bear their minds on the development expressed anger and equally condemned what they described as outrageous take-home.
The salaries earned by senators are far too expensive, and those revenue, or I say that income given to each person, can always be reduced or even cut in half. Yes, they are our lawmakers and they are the ones who are making the laws in Nigeria, but when you go outside and look at the average man that can barely survive and things are getting expensive by the day, you begin to wonder, who are they making the laws for? So for me, I think if they can be able to use the money given to them to put structures on ground to be able to help the common man, the masses will better appreciate that than them amassing the wealth.
These people are not representing us. They are representing themselves. So exploitative that they are carrying, daily on. This is more the reason why some people suggest pastime, senator. That even the way the senatorial duty is carried out in abroad is not full time, because the salary they pay themselves is jumbo salary. It's not commensurate with what they are doing. So indeed, I think it is high time now we youth we rise up to defend ourselves, because if we leave our hope in the hands of these old men, I think they only care for themselves, for their family and their pocket.
If Nigeria as a whole can reduce the amount paid to senators, reduce it a lot, and use that money to develop other sectors of the economy, you will see if they don't make the Nigerian legislative arm, if they don't make it very lucrative for people, the craze to get into this place will reduce. You understand? How can a senator be earning 13.5 million a month? It is unimaginable. Why would they not kill themselves to get there? Why?
The amount of money they're collecting is too much, and instead of them to use the money to construct roads and build schools for the students, they are using it for themselves, and other people are suffering just because of them, and that is not right. They should use the money to take care of the poor ones and the people that need money to go to schools.
We don't have to do that. So what we just need is just prayers, and we have been trying our possible best. But the only thing is just that maybe there should be a revolution in this country. I think that would be the best thing, just like what Ghanaian did, and they have a better country. They have a better economy now.
On the other hand, some respondents were quick to compare the 750,000 naira received by the lawmakers as a monthly salary, the 13.5 million naira received as running cost, and other allowances to the 18,000 naira minimum wage received by a Nigerian worker.
That is a slave wages. It's not minimum wages. It's just a slave wages compared to what they are taking home. Did that seek Nigeria's, opinion? They didn't seek public opinion before they come and allocate to themselves all these jumbo salary they are taking as a salary. Indeed, they are not there to serve. Rather, just, I don't want to use a word, stealing. Because a situation whereby you're there to serve your fatherland, at least it should be sacrifice. They look at it as national cake, but it's not national cake. One thing is that at least they should be conscious that if nobody asks them here, somebody is there to ask them.
Minimum wage is too poor. When your salary can hardly take you home, what can you call that? It's not a salary. Most Nigerians take-home pay cannot take them home because some of them live on credits. Go to the market these days and ask how much a container of garri goes for, and it will amaze you. Sometimes a family of 2 or 3 can barely survive on Nigeria's minimum wage. So my advice is senators should review minimum wage so that even if a commoner is going back home, he or she can smile back home and able to take care of their families and even siblings back in the village.
With some Nigerians there reacting on the total salary package taken by 8 senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In a related development, senior lawyer Femi Falana has faulted the 13.5 million naira received by senators as running costs and other allowances entitled to them. Falana expressed his view while reacting on the development in an exclusive interview with SuperScreen in Lagos. He also reacted on other issues by the upper chamber, which is related with the presidency. The revelation by Senator Shehu Sani has been worrisome to a lot of Nigerians. Senator Sani said each senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria receives 13.5 million naira as running cost. This is apart from the 750,000 naira salary they received, plus other entitlements. SuperScreen crew immediately visited Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, to know what exactly the Constitution say about this.
The revelation is a challenge to Nigerians to embark on the cost of our rickety democratic dispensation. Indeed, Senator Shehu Sani's figure also revealed that every senator is empowered to execute projects to the tune of 200 million naira per annum. Those figures do not include the housing allowance, car allowance, wardrobe allowance, and others, which also run to millions of naira per legislator. By virtue of Section 70 of the Constitution, the salaries and allowances and the total emoluments of legislators, and indeed all public officers in Nigeria, shall be fixed by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. Any allowance not picked, not approved by that commission is illegal, whatever you call it, whether you call it running cost or allowance or whatever.
Another issue on the front burner is the resolve by the lawmakers to veto bills the president failed to assent to. Femi Falana also shed light on the possibility or impossibility of such action.
The Constitution allows the National Assembly to override the veto of the president. But in each given situation, the legislators will be required to examine the reasons for rejection, the reasons for declining assent by the president. If the reasons are persuasive and convincing and cogent, the legislators will be inviting unnecessary litigation if they go ahead to use their numerical strength. I will advise the National Assembly members to consider the reply of the president without any sentiment, and also seek sound legal advice with a view to appreciating the need to comply with the Constitution.
The reordering of the election timetable is also a concern to many, especially as President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the National Assembly that INEC should be given its liberty.
About 4 provisions of the Constitution have empowered the INEC to appoint days for holding the election, governorship, legislative and presidential elections. But by an amendment carried out in 2010, the National Assembly erroneously amended those 4 provisions by adding the phrase subject to the Electoral Act. In the first place, which Electoral Act are you talking about? The Electoral Act that was in place then was the 2010 Electoral Act. Assuming without considering that we are now dealing with the new proposed Electoral Act, you cannot use an act of parliament to override or amend the Constitution. It's the other way around. All laws shall be read subject to the Constitution and not the other way around. In other words, since the Constitution has conferred the power exclusively on the INEC to appoint days for holding the elections, to organize the election, to conduct the election, and supervise the election, no other body in Nigeria can usurp those powers by arranging the days for the election in what they call sequence of elections.
With all that has been said by senior lawyer Femi Falana, it shows that the electoral umpire, INEC, has the right to reorder or schedule the 2019 elections and others that are coming. It remains to be seen whether INEC will be given this right to do what they intend to do. The Inspector General Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, has ordered the withdrawal of all police officers attached to very important persons, including political and public office holders nationwide, following the security challenges facing Nigeria. Idris, who disclosed this in Abuja during a conference with senior officers, said the directive also affects private businessmen, multinational companies, and other corporate organizations who are enjoying special police protection. He said task force had been constituted at the force headquarters under the command of ACP Mohammed Dankwara to ensure compliance to the directive, while state commissioners of police are to replicate same at their commands. The Nigeria Police Force says the Inspector General Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, was not queried by President Muhammadu Buhari following revelations that the IG ignored presidential directive to move to Benue State. The force spokesperson, Jimoh Moshood, who disclosed this to journalists, said anyone who says the IGP was queried by the president should bring the copy of the query for the force to display. Nigerian Army troops have arrested 18 herdsmen in the Kwata, Sule, Mbaya, Yandev, and Kambi areas of Benue State who were caught grazing their cows on farmlands, an act which is against the state's anti-open grazing law. Troops attached to the 707 Special Forces Brigade, Makadi, while on patrol in the area, nabbed 6 herdsmen in Kwata Sule, while 12 others were arrested in Baya, Yandev, and Kambi areas for destructive activities. The herdsmen were reportedly handed over to the police for prosecution. Leaders of the All Progressives Congress, APC, have launched the peace move to change the relationship between the executive and the National Assembly. Lawmakers are threatening to override President Muhammadu Buhari's veto on the Electoral Act amendment, especially the reordering of the sequence of the 2019 elections. A report, however, says the party is said to be seeking a meeting point for the two arms of government to resolve the ongoing crisis. You're still watching SuperScreen News at 8. Coming up in the news. Bank customers dropped by 2 million. Details of these and more coming up shortly.
I'm here to talk to you about the Infinity Card. The Infinity Card is a preloaded card that provides safer, easier, and faster financial services. Because it's not linked to any bank account, it eradicates the risks of exposure to your bank accounts. With it, you can plan your giving and expenses while staying within your budget. The Infinity Card works perfectly well for online transactions. With the self-service reloadable plan, it helps you diversify and distribute with no stress. It can be used to make withdrawal on any ATM nationwide. It offers a safe and secure alternative to handling bulky cash since it's acceptable at any point of sale. Concerned about security? We've got you covered. Apart from eliminating the risks of exposure to your bank accounts, the Infinity Card is secure as an entity. Don't go another day without it.
For more information, visit www.myinfinitycard.com or call 0908-248-0591. The Infinity Card is also available at face value and loadable at any quick teller enabled ATM across the country.
Well, it's so glad to have you back now in Business World. The Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, NIBSS, says the number of customers using financial services reduced in 2017. The banking industry statistics showed the total number of bank customers dropped from 61 million in 2016 to 59 million in 2017. Meanwhile, active bank accounts reduced from 65 million in 2016 to 63.5 million accounts in 2017. Now, World Bank has commenced preparations for the $500 million Nigerian electricity distribution improvement project. The bank had conducted a fact-finding mission in the distribution sector of the industry in order to establish how it could help boost service delivery by the power distributors. Nigeria's power sector recovery program revealed that the global financial institution had met with officials of the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing and other operators in the sector as regards the development. Still talking business news, Lagos State Government has begun pilot operations at its ferry terminal at Ikorodu in line with its commitment to facilitate an effective and efficient integrated transportation system. The Ikorodu terminal has been upgraded to a world-class standard and an accessible hub for the water transportation and other auxiliary services. Still ahead in the news, Syria President Bashar al-Assad visits army in Eastern Ghouta. Join us for details of these and more after this time out. Welcome back. Now in international news, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has visited army's positions in Eastern Ghouta weeks after a Russian-backed government bombardment campaign started there, killing more than 1,250 people. Government forces have retaken about 80% of the Damascus suburb, which was controlled by armed opposition groups since mid-2013. Assad confirmed that the government has arrested scores of civilians who have fled the violence in the besieged enclave over the past few days. Still talking foreign news, Russian President Vladimir Putin has received 75% of votes cast so far in the presidential election, winning another 6-year term as Russia's leader. Communist Party candidate Pavel Grudinin was in second with 13%, followed by nationalist Vladimir Zhirinovsky with 6%. Results from the Central Electoral Commission showed with about half of all ballots cast counted. Putin addressed thousands of Russian citizens on the Menezhnaya Square near the Kremlin with a short speech thanking supporters for the election results. Now in sport news, the Super Eagles have begun campaign in Wrocław today ahead of their friendly against Poland on Friday. A 3-time African champions Nigeria will travel to London after the encounter to take on Serbia on May 27. Nigeria's coach Janet Roy has invited 28 players for both encounters to prepare the Eagles for the Russia 2018 World Cup. And that's it. It is now time for us to join our entertainment desk.
Hello there, and now it's time for some entertainment news. I am Anthony Saibo. A representative of G1 Entertainment, Musa, says rumors that he's now on one case filed by his label, former label, is not true. The representative who disclosed this to journalists said the case was only announced in 2016-2018. We will recall surface that the singer has declared off the allegations of breaching and arguments in the binding contract between the artist and former label G1 Entertainment. And to more news, Nigerian Afro-pop artist Ron Town has been sued by his label Eric Manu Records for breach of contract. According to Eric Manu, Ron Town has been in venues collecting appearances fees without the approval of the label, which contravenes his record contract. However, Runtown's deal is due to expire next year. The label says he owes the company hundreds of millions of naira and an album that was released through the right channels. Report says Eric Mani has held back properties pertaining to Runtown until further investigations. This will be the second time in 2 years that Runtown has had a surplus with his label. You will recall in May 2016, the artist was sued by Eric Mani on the allegation that he signed off contours and attends musical shows without knowledge of the label. And now the foreign scene, American rapper French Montana, who made a trip to Uganda, Africa last year, has opened a healthcare in the country. Report says that he made a contribution to opening the Subi Hope Health Center to serve 300,000 people in need of hospitalization. The Jungle Rules rapper, during his visit to the country to film his viral Unforgettable video with Sway, was inspired to help the community after seeing the healthcare hardship in the country. This led the rapper to donate $100,000 to help the cause. He went on to form a partnership with non-profit organizations Mama Hope and Global Citizens. He has since become hip-hop's first global citizen ambassador for his efforts. And that wraps it up for the entertainment news. I am Anthony Osaibovo. Over to the main news anchor.
And with our entertainment news, it is a wrap on SuperScreen News at 8. But before we go, a quick recap of the main stories. We told you that Senator Shehu Sani has attributed The disclosure of lawmakers take home to the credibility of the parliament. And in business, we brought you a report that the number of bank customers has dropped by 2 million. And on the foreign scene, we also told you that Syria President Bashar al-Assad has visited army in Eastern Ghouta. Well, many thanks for being accompanied tonight, as always. And on behalf of the production team, I am Adenike Oweye Ajiboye, wishing you a pleasant night rest. Bye for now.